What's a secret you can only share with online strangers? I obsess about being able to start life over, in another time, to the point where I feel this life is not worth bothering about. I have no motivation to do anything. I do the same thing every day so I get bored, but then I can't be bothered to start doing something productive. When I first started dating my boyfriend, I moved in with him in another state pretty quickly, like after 3 to 4 months. So one night, he was in the shower in our 1-bedroom 1-bathroom apartment and I was chillin' in the living room and suddenly I had to poop so bad. Like it was go time and he was in the shower and I absolutely did not feel comfortable going in there and blowing up the toilet at the same time he was in the shower. In hindsight, I should have just run to the corner store and gone poo and come back with snacks and acted like I just wanted some munchies. But I was panicking, so what did I do? I grabbed 2 plastic grocery bags, doubled them up, took them into our walk-in closet. I think I figured if he popped out of the shower in the middle of my shame, at least I would be behind another door and have a minute to compose myself, and I squatted and pooped a huge load of turd into these grocery bags in our closet. I wiped with paper towels and tied up the bag and immediately went down and took out the trash. He will never know. No one will never know. This is my shame. Sometimes when my medical issues are acting up, I can't even remember my husband's name. I know who he is, but it's like the data is corrupted and my brain is returning unknown error instead of name. Due to the current plague COVID, my best friend of 10+ years lost his job. He was going through rough times beforehand, wife cheated, left him, horrible divorce, etc. Now, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, and can be forgetful. He, however, is a very proud man and will not accept help from anybody. Nothing I can do. He's always been that way. Important later, one night while having a few beers, he mentions how he's worried about making rent next month. Due to my decent savings and good job, I offered to help him. He refused, saying he would never accept it. Now, I know his landlord as a vague acquaintance saw him and had talked to him a few times before while at my buddy's place. So I went to see him while my buddy was at another friend's house working on his old dirt bike. I paid his rent in full, in cash, for the next 2 months. I told his landlord to never tell him it came from me, and to tell him that was owed to him due to overpayment on his rent while he lived there. Something about reviewing the last few years' finances, to make it seem legit. He totally bought it. I saw him the next weekend, and he was so happy. He told me all about the overpayment, and how that magically saved him, for without them, he might be homeless. While he thinks he was saved due to an accounting error, I'm so happy knowing I greatly improved his situation, at least for a little while. My mother was afraid of death. On the day she died, 5 different doctors told me there was no hope, and there wasn't. They also told me she couldn't be aware of what's going on. She would open her eyes when she heard me. I asked her several times if she wanted off the vent, and she'd nod. I'd clarify that this would mean it was her time to go, and she wouldn't answer anyway. After several hours of watching a team of nurses work on her while she was circling the drain, I gave the consent. Her last action was one of fear. I am fully convinced that she was completely aware of what was happening for at least 15 seconds, even with a large morphine dose. She grasped at me with her hands as though she were trying to cling to life. I've had many nightmares about it. Just how lonely I am. Of course no one wants to hear it. They blow smoke up your ass or repeat catchy phrases. I have no friends or anyone I talk to outside of coworkers. I had a bad breakup last year and pretty much no luck since. I've got PTSD from when my mom choked the shit out of me at age 7. I thought I deserved it. When I was 17 I was hit by a car, and sometimes I wish it had done visible damage. Broken something or anything really. I was hit side on at 30 miles per hour. I flipped over the bonnet and smacked my head on a metal railing before hitting the ground. At the time they just glued my head back together, had a quick glimpse under my shirt and said I had just bruised my spine. The next year I was still in pain and the doctor sent me to physio, who told me that I have a tilted pelvis. Multiple doctors, physio people and a chiropractor all agree that it is tilted, as proven by one leg being longer than the other, plus it's noticeable if I stand up straight. My problem now is that whenever I I go to the doctors I'm told I'm too young to be near constant pain or I'm too young for it to be an actual problem. I once was told that my pain is my own fault because I don't swim 6 times a week. If that car had put me in a wheelchair I'd still be in pain and it would be awful, but I'd actually get help. I've cut off all ties with family and friends to be alone for the rest of my life. I've honestly been the happiest I've ever been in my whole life. I have friends that have paid me to record them having sex. You guys get paid. I was on a local game show and the answers to the questions were written in the back of the card. I could read every answer. Since my divorce, I don't really want a relationship. I date some and keep it casual and had one actual girlfriend for 3 months and it was pure hell. My family doesn't get it, but I really like doing the dad and kids thing. I went to counseling in case it was some carryover issues from my marriage, but it seems I just like being on my own. I'm scared that won't change long term. I don't want to end up alone after my kids grow out of the home, but I just can't get on board to doing the relationship bit and don't see that changing anytime soon. Not much of a secret, but my dad lied about having a family to my mom. My dad is still in the picture, but we're like the secondary family. It took 25 years for me to finally meet one of my brothers from my dad's side. He seems to be the only one who half-heartedly wanted to meet me. The rest don't seem to care too much about my existence. Never told my parents I had stage 1 cancer. Both were barely sober and would have jumped off the wagon head first. Bright side. Got it all. I feel relieved whenever I get sick. I have major depression and anxiety problems, and being physically ill is just something people understand better. I don't know how to explain it. I kind of dislike my best friend. We've known each other a long time, and we're both in unfortunate circumstances. But I'm trying to change mine. He isn't trying to change his. He just rages about how unfair his life is. I've offered all the help I can, but he never takes me up on it, and being his shoulder to cry on can be exhausting. He can be a very negative person, and so can I, but I'm trying to be less so. But it's easy to slip back into negativity when I'm around him. It's all very frustrating sometimes. I do Kegels whenever I'm waiting at a stoplight. Don't know how I'm going to survive now without stepdad. Died Saturday. Things just hurt so much. I'm afraid I don't know how to get excited about stuff anymore. I can't really tell my friends or family. My friends know me as a perpetually happy girl. All smiles and jokes. Always there for them when they need support. My family are nice, but will just not be able to help. Nothing is bringing me joy anymore, and I feel like I am steadily losing touch with the world around me. I try to pursue my hobbies, and I just feel nothing from them anymore. Nothing grabs me and enthralls me with passion anymore. I don't get excited to game, to read, to lockpick, or even to get out of bed. I just don't feel any point in any of it anymore, and there's no one to tell and nothing to really do about it. About 10 years ago, I stole my bully's phone and threw it off a building. He still doesn't know what happened to his phone. There is a video of me being interviewed by Tulsa Channel 9 News where I'm drunk wearing a beer-soaked crop-top tank top State shirt being asked about my opinion on beer being sold in Boone Pickens Stadium. Not my finest moment. Late response. I honestly have no idea where, if there is a link of this incident. They might have saved the footage, stored it somewhere, and I don't know where to find it. Also, it was Tulsa News 9, not Channel 9 News. Another late response. Apparently. I can't remember the news station, but I remember a prominent white 9 on a red square background on the mic. Honestly, could have been KTUL8, but I was f***ing plastered that day. I'm inadvertently ruining my marriage because I'm terrified I'm going to ruin it. My mother's last words, as she lay dying in our house, were, "I'm scared. This has f***ed me up bad, and I can't tell anyone I know because I don't want to f*** them up too." When I was with my host family, it was honestly the only year of my life I've felt like a part of a family. I miss them so much.